As the world watches the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza, the need for international support has never been more urgent. In a significant move, Germany has stepped up to provide much-needed assistance. The country recently announced a substantial increase in aid to the beleaguered region, aiming to alleviate the suffering of countless individuals. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock made this crucial announcement during a visit to the Middle East, highlighting Germany's commitment to humanitarian efforts. The aid package, totaling €50 million, will provide essential support to organizations working tirelessly on the ground in Gaza, ensuring that vital resources reach those in need. This funding boost brings Germany's total contribution to over €360 million since the previous year, marking a significant increase in their efforts. With this financial assistance, critical issues such as food insecurity and healthcare will be addressed, offering a glimmer of hope to many. Germany's decision to increase aid to Gaza is a powerful message of solidarity and compassion, reflecting the country's dedication to humanitarian principles. As the international community seeks a lasting solution to the crisis, Germany's unwavering commitment serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of compassion, unity, and collective action in addressing global challenges. Germany's decision to boost aid to Gaza is deeply rooted in its long-standing commitment to humanitarian principles and global solidarity. Germany has consistently ranked among the world's top donors, providing vital assistance globally to those in need. This commitment stems from a belief in the inherent dignity of every human being, regardless of their circumstances. Germany's history has shaped its worldview, emerging from World War II with a profound sense of responsibility to foster peace and stability. This commitment is enshrined in its constitution, emphasizing the protection of human rights and human dignity. The decision to increase aid to Gaza reflects these deeply held values. As the world grapples with complex crises, Germany's steadfast commitment to humanitarian principles serves as a beacon of hope and compassion. The Gaza Strip, a densely populated enclave, has long been at the heart of one of the world's most intractable conflicts. Home to over 2 million Palestinians, Gaza has endured years of blockade and repeated outbreaks of violence. The roots of the crisis run deep, entangled in the complex history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The recent flare-up, marked by intense fighting between Israel and Hamas, has exacerbated an already dire humanitarian situation. Homes, schools, and hospitals have been damaged or destroyed, displacing families and disrupting essential services. The healthcare system is struggling to cope with the influx of casualties. The international community has called for an immediate ceasefire and a return to negotiations. The international community's response to the crisis in Gaza has been marked by a mix of condemnation, calls for restraint, and pledges of humanitarian assistance. Various nations have voiced their concerns and offered support in different ways. The United States has called for an immediate ceasefire and a return to negotiations. The Biden administration has emphasized the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in resolving the conflict. The Biden administration has pledged significant humanitarian aid to Gaza, aiming to alleviate the suffering of the civilian population. The European Union has expressed deep concern over the violence and called for an end to hostilities. EU leaders have been actively engaging in diplomatic efforts to bring about a peaceful resolution. Germany, as a leading member of the EU, has played a prominent role in these efforts. The German government has been vocal in its support for humanitarian aid and peace initiatives. Neighboring Arab countries, including Egypt and Jordan, have been actively involved in mediation efforts. Their regional influence is crucial in facilitating dialogue between conflicting parties. The crisis in Gaza has highlighted the deep divisions within the international community. Different nations have varying perspectives on the conflict, leading to a complex web of diplomatic interactions. However, the shared concern over the plight of civilians offers a glimmer of hope for a united international response. The collective efforts to provide humanitarian aid and support peace initiatives reflect a common desire to end the suffering and bring stability to the region. The ongoing conflict in Gaza has precipitated a humanitarian crisis of immense proportions, affecting every aspect of daily life for its residents. The densely populated enclave is facing a catastrophic breakdown of essential services, including water, electricity, and sanitation. Homes, schools, and hospitals have been reduced to rubble, leaving families displaced and communities shattered. The healthcare system is on the verge of collapse under the weight of mounting casualties, with medical supplies running dangerously low. Food insecurity has reached alarming levels, with access to essential food items becoming increasingly precarious, forcing many to rely on aid. Malnutrition rates, particularly among children, are soaring, leading to long-term health consequences that will affect generations. The psychological toll of the conflict is immeasurable, with deep scars on the collective psyche of Gaza's population, manifesting in widespread trauma and grief. The international community has a moral imperative to act, providing both immediate relief and long-term solutions. A concerted diplomatic effort is urgently needed to break the cycle of violence and create the conditions for a just and lasting peace, ensuring a brighter future for the people of Gaza. The quest for peace in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been a long and arduous journey. The roots of the conflict run deep, intertwined with historical narratives and competing claims to land. The two-state solution has long been the cornerstone of international peace efforts. However, the path to realizing this vision has been littered with obstacles. The expansion of Israeli settlements, the status of Jerusalem, and the issue of Palestinian refugees remain major stumbling blocks. The rise of Hamas in Gaza has further complicated the peace process. The international community has a crucial role to play in facilitating a peaceful resolution. The road to peace is long and uncertain, but the human cost of inaction is too high. Amidst the devastation, glimmers of hope for a cessation of hostilities have emerged. Intense diplomatic efforts are underway to secure a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Egypt has been at the forefront of these efforts, working tirelessly to bridge the divide. The United States has also been actively engaged in diplomatic efforts. The United Nations has been sounding the alarm about the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. While a ceasefire agreement would provide a much-needed respite, it is only a first step. The underlying issues that have fueled the conflict remain unresolved. The international community must seize this opportunity to push for meaningful negotiations. The time for a just and lasting peace is now. The international community has mobilized on the diplomatic front, seeking to broker a ceasefire and bring stability. World leaders, diplomats, and international organizations are engaged in intense and complex negotiations. The United States has expressed deep concern over the growing humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The European Union has urged both sides to exercise maximum restraint and return to the negotiating table. Russia has called for an urgent and immediate meeting of the United Nations Security Council. The Arab League has condemned the Israeli airstrikes on Gaza and called for an immediate end to the violence. The international community's engagement is crucial to prevent further escalation and create the conditions for a lasting political solution. To fully grasp the complexities of the current crisis in Gaza, one must delve into the annals of history. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is rooted in competing narratives, historical grievances, and a struggle for land and identity. The seeds of the conflict were sown in the late 19th century with the emergence of Zionism. The 1947 UN partition plan proposed dividing Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. The 1967 Six-Day War resulted in Israel's capture of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. Understanding the historical context is crucial for navigating the complexities of the present crisis and for charting a path towards a just and lasting peace. As the world grapples with the human toll of the escalating conflict in Gaza, a collective call for unity and decisive action reverberates across the global stage. The urgency of the situation demands a concerted effort to break the cycle of violence. The international community must speak with one voice, condemning the violence and urging all parties to exercise restraint. Humanitarian aid cannot be a substitute for a political solution. A ceasefire is only a first step on a long journey. The two-state solution remains the only viable framework for a peaceful future. Achieving this goal will require unwavering commitment and bold leadership. The international community must remain actively engaged. The time for action is now. The plight of Gaza serves as a stark reminder of our shared humanity. The international community has both a moral and a strategic imperative to act. The humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza demands immediate attention. However, Humanitarian aid alone cannot address the root causes of the crisis. A sustainable solution requires a fundamental shift in the political dynamics. The two-state solution remains the only viable path to a just and lasting peace. Investing in the future of Gaza means investing in the future of the entire region. The international community must work together to lift the blockade and promote economic development. The people of Gaza deserve a future free from violence and oppression.